The problem that I see for most people is that they try one thing and then they get kind of stuck in it. And it takes a lot of inertia and emotional labor to break out of that, to try something else. And so they get lazy and they just get stuck in one thing. And then it's not a good fit for them, but then they just endure it for the next 40, 50 years of their life. And it makes them depressed. It makes them bitter. It makes them angry, resentful, and it robs them of all their potential. And then they also have financial difficulties because, of course, when you resent your job, you can't really work well at it. You can't generate the value and give a lot of value to the world. And therefore, the world's not going to give a lot of value to you back. That's why passion is so critical and why passion is not a luxury, because passion is what allows you to create massive value for people. And massive value creation is how you get, well, financially compensated. So it is okay to wander around. And also, this everything I talked about here was occurring over a period of like 10 years, right? So it took a while. It's not like I just sit down and figured it all out in one go. But one thing that I was always very adamant about, no matter how much I wandered, is I knew that what I wanted was to live a life on purpose. I knew that what I wanted was to be passionate about my work. And I was very proactive and deliberate in pushing myself to set up the foundation of my life. That I wasn't unclear about. That I was crystal clear about. And that's why it worked. And that's why it doesn't work for many other people, because they're not crystal clear about that. So it's not so important that you know right now exactly which major you need to go into or which career is going to be your ultimate career. What's more important is that you're committed to figuring it out and you're working on that every single day for months and years on end. So one key distinction that's going to help you is that realize that there's a big difference between your fantasy, your imagination of what a job is, and then the actual job itself. Like the fantasy of being an aerospace engineer, you might imagine, is going to Mars and building cool rocket ships and stuff. And then the reality of being an aerospace engineer is sitting in a cubicle, looking at a screen for 8 hours a day at Excel spreadsheets. See, night and day, night and day. So you have to make sure that the actual job that you're going to be doing is going to be something that you're satisfied with, and that the difference between your fantasy or your image of that job and the actual job is not too great. And the way you disabuse yourself of these illusions and fantasies is by actually going and doing some of this work. Like maybe you want to be a writer. Go try writing a short story and see how that feels. Maybe you want to be a filmmaker. Go actually try to film a little indie film and see how that feels. Do you actually enjoy doing that? See? Because you might have this image of a filmmaker, but that's different from actually shooting a film. You might not actually like the process of shooting a film, in which case you got to go find something else.